And we continue now with our focus group and the one and only Frank Luntz.
So tell me, are we more united because of this conversation, or are we more divided because of the debate over the last week?
More divided.
Who says we're more divided? Okay, you almost all do. So then why are we doing this? Why would the president get in the middle of this?
I think he was just trying to discuss the rights of religious freedom, but it wound up causing a lot of division.
No, because he's a divider, not a uniter. I feel he's trying to lecture us. From his tone, I got he was there at his professorial stance, trying to tell us how we should think.
We're dealing with the real world here.
Larry, hold on, one more.
This is a troubling pattern of behavior that Obama has exhibited. Right now, we're worried about the mosque, and there are immigrants coming through in Arizona endangering the lives of Americans, and he's willing to look the other way in order to curry favor for votes for target ethnic groups, while Americans are in danger.
Let me ask this one question. You raise a very good, interesting point to me. It seems, and I say this all the time, isn't it supposed to be government of, by, and for we the people?
Yes.
Right. But the president on health care, an overwhelming majority of people showed they didn't want it, according to the polls. They 70% disagree on the mosque, 70% disagree on the Arizona immigration law. He wouldn't even say war on terror for the longest period of time. So what does that tell us about the president? That his radical agenda is more important?
Narcissist.
Who said that? Who said that? What did you say?
Narcissist.
You think he's a narcissist?
Dictator in chief.
Go ahead.
He's very self-serving. He only wants to talk about the things that will advance his own agenda.
But isn't that his right? Isn't that his right as
He's
president?
the leader of our country.
He's representing all of us.
No, he's for us, not the other way around.
But he was elected president. Didn't George Bush push his agenda?
Frank, we would be sitting here today saying, hey, why didn't he say something? Because I was on that other side as, hey, you put your foot in your mouth. Then I realized, I said, well, wait a minute, he's the president. We would have said to him, why didn't you say something?
Let me ask you a question. How many
another diversion. It's like another diversion from the facts, from the economy and everything. He had to say something. He's the president. He said something, but now we're, he talked about the rights.
We had 5 years ago when Bush had these issues, he didn't say anything. It was never an issue. Now Obama doesn't say that. He does say something. Now it's an issue.
I was here covering. Bush was beaten up on a daily basis.
Like Obama?
Absolutely.
You gotta be kidding.
You're not serious. Come on. Your memory's not that short.
They've turned against you.
That's not true.
So let's put this in perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Bush was made fun. We still make fun of
I want to put this in perspective. Hold on. I want to put this in perspective for 2012. Again,
how about 2010 for?
How many of you voted for him in 2008? Raise your hands if you voted for him. Obama. Of those of you who voted for him, who's going to vote Republican in 2010? So you're voting for a Republican.
I am a Republican, and I voted for Obama because I thought intellectually he was the superior candidate, but I was wrong.
You admit that on national television.
Wrong.
I'm voting for the best of either parties, as we discussed before.
Yeah, okay.
You're switching.
I'm with you, too. And I got to tell you, isn't it simple? How many of you think taxes are too high? How many of you think that government is too corrupt? All right. How many of you think that they need to start balancing their budget? How many of you think Obama... I was asking everybody. No, but how many of you think that Barack Obama lost touch with... when he was out there on the campaign trail, yes, we can, change, change, change. How many of you think it was all rhetoric and no action?
Okay, but let's focus on those who switched. Why are you switching?
Well, it's a bit premature. It is a couple of years away, and I like to think I have an open mind. But basically, as a free libertarian, as we discussed, I voted for him because I thought it would be good for the country. But I think he's a little too, as I said before, smoothly political. His statement about this whole matter begins with concessions to the sensitive area, and then it moves to religious freedom, and then it covers again sensitive area. It's a little too politically correct.
It's not about Republican and Democrat in the next election. It's about who's going to be for us, for the people. And no more lies and no more politics. We need somebody that's for us.
When they spent all this money and they had to buy the votes for health care and the Cornhusker kickback and the Louisiana purchase because they didn't have the votes, and then he said unemployment wouldn't go above 8%, but we still spent that money on the stimulus. How many of you were disappointed? Well, that's a lot of people.
Go ahead.
You had to have high expectations in order to be disappointed. So if
Who created the expectations?
Well, he did, but I didn't believe.
You want to blame Bush? How many of you think he blames Bush too much?
I blame Bush. I want it to be an even playing field. He started out at a disadvantage. The whole world has to admit that.
I 100% agree he started at a disadvantage, and I was a huge Barack Obama supporter, but I'm seriously questioning my support of him at this point, because I think on these issues, and this, the Cordova House is a perfect example. He tries to straddle the line to make both sides happy, and it's just infuriating. Pick a side and stand by it.
Last comment, we got to go. Yes, sir.
Sean, I agree with you that I was really looking forward to the change and some meaningful differences, and I haven't seen any at all in a year and a half.
Can I say something? Even though 17 of you more voted for Obama in 08, this has been a really interesting, enlightening panel. Another great job by our good friend Frank Luntz.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Thanks. We will continue to follow this important